Hi everyone. So welcome to tonight's full moon tarot reading. This is the April 2020, 7th and 8th of April, full moon in Libra tarot reading. So I've just literally come off live from tonight's full moon ceremony in my free moon group. So I run those every 2 weeks. So if you want to join me for one of those, I'll post a link below this video. It's very exciting to hold those spaces. A beautiful energy tonight. So I'm feeling very much in this Libra energy of that love and community. So just feeling really grateful. So hello to everyone who is here with me live. But whenever you come across this video, this is for you. These messages will resonate in their own way for you. Take what does resonate and leave what doesn't. You'll know intuitively how these relate to you in your life personally if these messages are for you. But it's my intention just to download, just to receive whatever wants to come through for the next couple of weeks. So I'm working with 2 decks this month. So I'm working with the Moonology Oracle deck, and I'm also working with a favourite of mine called the Lunar Nomad Oracle deck as well. So I've just shuffled the decks, just cleared them. So we've got a fresh new energy for this full moon. And again, I'm just going to draw the cards intuitively, see what comes through. And just see what wants to arise for us. So what wants to come through? What messages for the collective? This full moon in Libra. 2021 cards come through already. If you're here with me live, just drop me a little love heart, a little hello. Let me know you're here, you're watching. Thank you for joining me. Hi Becky, I can see you here. Hello. Okay, I'm going to draw one more card from this deck, just giving them, there we go. It came out very fast. So let's see what wants to come through. This is from the Moonology deck, first of all. So the first card, you are good enough, full moon in Virgo. See that one, lovelies? So there's lots of green. This is very much feeling into the heart, and this is so perfectly synchronistic with the themes of the Libra full moon, because the Libra full moon is all about relationship first of all to ourselves, because that's how we relate to the outer world. And especially during these shifting times, we're having to shift our sense of self. We're having to shift our identity to navigate challenges and changes that happen in our external environment. So how are we relating to ourselves? Are there places within us where we still don't feel good enough, that we feel like we should be doing more or doing things differently? What are those places that are calling for perhaps being illuminated by the full moon? Places where we may still hold on to anger or unforgiveness. Places in ourselves where we may have judged or criticised ourselves, or places where we may have been judged or criticised by others, that we're still holding on to that pain, and we're still holding on to a belief, a deeper belief, that we're somehow wrong or we're somehow not good enough. Because this card is a reminder of we are always good enough, we are always doing the best that we can do. When we step into the heart and we feel into the heart space, we know that we're all, at the moment, but in particular, we're all in this huge shared human experience. There's so much uncertainty, there's so much fear and unrest in the collective, and however you are handling that and however you are processing that within yourself, you're doing the best that you can do. You are good enough. You are inherently good. You were born worthy. You were born enough. And it's just about owning and holding those places within you where perhaps you don't always recognise that, or perhaps that you're projecting outwards into the world, expecting others to recognise something within you that you actually need to honour and recognise within yourself. Where are the truths that perhaps you may be holding yourself back in some way or trying to show some face to the world, rather than your authenticity, your truth. Where are you holding back? This is kind of really dropping in. This is a lot of healing energy in this card. A lot of healing energy. The full moon in Virgo. Virgo can be a real perfectionist, I know, because I am one. I am a Virgo. That's my sun sign. So Virgos can be very good with details, but also, can, in the shadow aspect of the Virgo, very perfectionist, very kind of picky and fixed in their ideas. So it's also about allowing yourself to release some expectations, of yourself, to allow yourself to be and feel whatever it is that you're feeling and sitting with as well, and know that even in the mess or the chaos, you are still enough. Even if not everything gets done that you may have wanted to get done, you are still enough. Beautiful first message. The second card, your hard work is paying off, new moon in Capricorn. So this is interesting. So this is that fresh energy. It's that new moon energy of a new beginning. And it definitely feels like we have this rebirth process. This full moon is actually happening in the midway point here in the UK between the spring equinox and Maybon, the festival, the Lovers Festival on the 1st of May. So this real energy of shifting time, changing. We also have the moon is that accumulation point in the cycle where we kind of have this expansion and then this release, this change, this rebirth energy. And it feels like this is a reminder that things that we're doing, the ways that we may have been placing our attention, may have been taking action, that these things are starting to pay off for us. So even if we can't necessarily see the end result yet, even if things seem a little bit unsettled or a little bit shaken at the moment, keep persevering. Capricorn is a very directed sign. It's very good at shining a light, of keeping a clear direction, of going, of moving ahead, of continuing on the path. So it's the energy, it feels like, really trust yourself that you are exactly where you're supposed to be, and keep going with those things that fill you up, that feel good, that come from the soul, because you are making progress, even if you can't always see it. This is a dark moon phase, and in the dark moon, this is often when the moon is completely dark in the sky. We can't always see the light yet. But it doesn't mean that she's not there. It doesn't mean that that's not going to come for us, or that our dream is out of reach. It just means that it still hasn't shown itself to us. So it's trusting in that process, trusting in ourselves, and trusting in the process of time to keep going, because your hard work is paying off. You are going to receive that recognition. You are going to receive, a manifestation, or you're welcoming a new energy from the work that you're putting in. It's a real reminder of that. And the third card then, supermoon. Emotions are running high. Well, yes, we do have tonight, we have the supermoon in Libra, and it is a highly charged emotional time. And the message that's really coming through, and it's being reiterated again and again tonight in the ceremony and through this card, with our emotions, when emotions run high, it can sometimes feel really overwhelming. And often what we do is we kind of shift into the headspace to try and resolve, to try and fix it. Whereas actually what we need to do is to drop into the heart and just meet ourselves with that love and that compassion. Because when we do that, we allow ourselves our emotions to show us. They're the guides. Our fears, on the other side of our fears is everything that we've been kind of perhaps afraid of, or things that we have perhaps been blocking ourselves from seeing. But actually we can make breakthroughs by embracing these feelings, by embracing these emotions, allowing them to move through us, allowing them to pass, to shed, to release in whatever way you need to move, to dance, to to cry, to feel whatever it is that you're feeling, because that's an important message. Because we can see on the other side of that, well, what is it that this is actually showing me about a need that I have or a desire that I have? Because these can be really powerful messengers of truth if we allow ourselves a chance to sit with them. And also just to honour that this is where we are at the moment. We are in a place of heightened emotion. However you are coping or dealing with that is okay. That is you coping. You know, I think sometimes the worst feeling is that when it all kind of gets too much, it's overwhelmed, is I can't deal with this. Remind yourself of how often you've overcome things that you didn't think that you could at the time. Because you will overcome it. You will. You just need to allow that emotion to move through you, rather than holding, rather than resisting the feeling, no matter how kind of hard that is. However you are trying to process, however you go into that, just offer yourself that care and that compassion and presence with yourself. And the same with others as well, you know, noticing how others may also be affected by this energy, and just allowing the recognition that whatever is going on inside of them is where they're seeing the world, where they're coming from. And rather than trying to necessarily fix anything or change anything or taking that on as ours, as our own responsibility, we just hold that space. We honour that person, that process that they're in, whilst also respecting our own boundaries around that as well. Powerful messages this week. I thought it might be. This is the first time that I've done a live reading, I think, on a full moon evening. So I'm not surprised. There's so much energy flowing through. So I'm going to pick a few more cards, this time from the Lunar Nomad deck. So this works a lot with archetypal symbolism as well, in a different way. It's a beautiful deck to work with. Okay, so what do we need to know the next coming 2 weeks? Okay, let's see what we've got. Okay, guys, so first card, the Man, 28. So this is very much about that masculine energy. Now, this is the masculine polarity in both male and female. So this is the part of us which is often related to our external action, our will, our direction, the kind of container of our awareness, the seat of our awareness, where we direct our consciousness, and often dominates the mind space, the thinking space. So how is the man showing, the masculine side, how is that showing up for you? Particularly, this feels in relation to the emotions, because so often what we find is that logic and intellect don't always meet emotions in the same language. You know, often the emotion is the language of the body, it's a language of symbol, rather than the mind space, which thinks more in like words and perhaps images. So it's finding a way of connecting the heart space and the head space, again offering compassionate inner narrative, working with our masculine part of ourselves. How can we support and offer space to our hearts, to our intuitive nudges, rather than just getting fixed in how can I take action, or how can I solve this